Christmas is right around the corner, so let's look out for the signs of what will happen if you're on the naughty list. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and today we're counting down our list of the top 10 terrifying signs Krampus is on his way to visit you. Now, if you don't know who Krampus is, he's a Christmas demon that's the opposite of Santa Claus. Now, coming in at number 10 is strange footprints. Although Krampus appears in many variations, most share some common physical characteristics. He is hairy, usually brown or black, and has the cloven hooves and the horns of a goat. His long pointed tongue lolls out, and he has fangs. Now, one of the first signs that Krampus is on his way is the appearance of strange hoof-like footprints in the snow or mud. So if you hear tapping and you think it might be Santa and his reindeer on your roof, think again. The footprints are typically larger and more menacing than those of ordinary animals, resembling cloven hooves. The mysterious footprints are considered an early warning sign that Krampus is on his way to carry out his mission of discipline and punishment. Families waking up to discover these unsettling tracks outside their homes know that Krampus has taken notice and may be making his way through the neighborhood. Now, in some traditions, communities even organize Krampus parades, during which individuals dressed as Krampus roam the streets, leaving behind these hoof-like footprints as a reminder of the creature's impending arrival. Number 9. Demonic growls. In various traditions, it is said that Krampus emits ominous growls as he roams the streets during the Christmas season, particularly in search of people who are misbehaving. The growls are described as deep, guttural, and otherworldly, and I mean, since Krampus is a demon, that doesn't surprise me. Some accounts suggest that the demonic growls can be heard from a distance, echoing through the cold winter air. Yeah, that absolutely sounds terrifying, and hearing that sound would chill me to my core. Now, these growls are often woven into the broader narrative of Krampus lore, signaling the creature's approach to a particular neighborhood or household. In some stories, the growls are said to grow louder and more menacing as Krampus draws nearer to his intended target. The sound is intended to instill a sense of dread and urgency, prompting those who hear it to take precautions or seek shelter. In communities that celebrate Krampus-related events, participants dressed as Krampus may amplify the effect by mimicking demonic growls, which again is just terrifying. Number 8. Bells and chains. Hearing the sounds of bells and chains is a surefire sign that Krampus is here. The jingling of bells and the clattering of chains are considered a warning signal that Krampus is approaching. It is said that these sounds can be heard in the distance as he makes his way through the streets, and it alerts families of his presence. The chains that Krampus carries are often interpreted as symbols of control and restraint. In some depictions, Krampus is shown wielding chains to subdue the naughty, symbolizing the consequences of misbehavior. Now, the chains also serve as a visual representation of Krampus's role as someone who's in charge of discipline, enforcing order during the Christmas season. Chains are traditionally associated with the underworld and the supernatural, and in the context of Krampus, they reinforce the creature's demonic nature and his connection to realms beyond the human experience. In celebrations and Krampus parades, individuals dressed as Krampus often wear bells and chains as part of their costumes, and the deliberate jingling and clinking create an unsettling and theatrical effect, which is definitely terrifying. Number 7. Drop in temperature. A sudden drop in temperature is often associated with the arrival of Krampus. As Krampus is said to bring a cold chill with him, a sudden and unexplained drop in temperature is considered a manifestation of his presence. The air becomes noticeably colder and the environment is chilling. In folklore, changes in weather or temperature are often attributed to the influence of supernatural beings. The sudden cold associated with Krampus is consistent with this tradition, aligning him with mythical figures who wield control over natural elements. Now, I will say I'm somewhat shocked that it wouldn't get hotter because he's a demon from hell, but I guess the chilling effect is symbolic of the consequences that Krampus brings for those who have been deemed naughty or disobedient. Now, the timing of Krampus-related activities often coincides with the winter solstice, a period associated with the longest night and the return of longer days. The sudden cold can be seen as a symbolic representation of the harshness of the winter, again aligning Krampus with the darker aspects of the season. Number 6. Flickering Lights. Krampus is said to have the power to cause unexplained electrical disturbances, leading to the flickering of lights. This phenomenon is often attributed to his supernatural nature and his ability to influence the physical world. The flicking lights serve as a symbolic sign that Krampus is near. It is believed that he uses this phenomenon to announce his arrival or draw attention to his proximity, heightening the sense of anticipation anticipation and fear associated with his presence. Now, the fear associated with the flickering lights becomes a psychological element of the Krampus legend. Not to mention, the flickering of lights aligns with cultural symbolism associated with the supernatural. In many folk traditions, strange occurrences with lights are often linked to the presence of spirits, demons, or otherworldly entities, and in this case, Krampus is a demon, so it makes sense. Number 5. Bad smells. In many accounts, Krampus is associated with the distinct smell of sulfur. The odor of sulfur, reminiscent of rotten eggs or a burning match, is traditionally linked to demonic or supernatural entities in various cultural and religious contexts. One of the most common explanations for why sulfur is associated with demons is because it's often used as a metaphor for the foul smell of hell. Sulfur has also been used as a symbol of death and decay, which are both commonly associated with the devil and demons. If you suddenly smell this, I suggest burning sage and to cleanse your space. Now, you should be aware that this means that there's negativity in the air, and with Krampus coming, bad things will happen. The history of Krampus has been theorized as stretching back to pre-Christian Alpine traditions, with celebrations involving Krampus dating back to the 6th or 7th century AD, though there are no written sources before the end of the 16th century. So maybe he didn't start with being some sort of underworld demon, but he's definitely characterized like that today. Number 4. Disturbing dreams. Disturbing dreams are often intertwined with the legend of Krampus. While you're supposed to be dreaming of dancing sugar plums, you may just dream of a demon tormenting you. In the folklore surrounding Krampus, it is believed that he has the ability to enter the dreams of individuals, particularly those who have been naughty or misbehaved during the holiday season. These nightmares are vivid, unsettling, and often feature the horned creature himself, creating a psychological impact on those who experience them. Now, the ability of Krampus to enter dreams adds a supernatural and mystical element into the folklore, and it suggests that Krampus operates on a plane that extends beyond the physical world. Not only can he scare you in the physical world, but in the dream world as well. It seems there's no escape from him. Now, by doing this, it could also drive his victims to stay up and avoid sleeping due to the dreams, which would make them sleep deprived and affect them even worse. The notion of supernatural beings entering dreams is a recurring theme in folklore and mythology across various cultures, so it's not surprising that Krampus has this power too. Number 3. Vanishing Treats. You know how you leave cookies and milk out for Santa, maybe even some carrots for the reindeer? Well, it's customary to leave offerings to Krampus too. Just because he's a demon doesn't mean that he doesn't want some treats. Now, some traditions suggest that people may leave out offerings for Krampus as a gesture to appease him. It's said you can offer Krampus schnapps, a strong distilled fruit brandy. Other offerings typically include nuts and fruits as well. Leaving treats for Krampus is often seen as a symbolic act of compliance or an attempt to ward off his intention. It reflects a desire to be spared from the consequences of misbehavior and serves as an acknowledgement of Krampus's role during the holiday season. It is believed that during the night, Krampus may come to collect these offerings, and by morning, they are mysteriously gone, leaving only an empty plate or bowl as evidence of his visit. Number 2. Darkened Sky. The notion of a darkened sky following the arrival of Krampus is often tied to the folklore and legends surrounding this figure. While specific details may vary, the darkened sky is commonly portrayed as an atmospheric change that occurs when Krampus is near. In some accounts, the darkened sky is associated with stormy weather, including thunderstorms, lightning, and heavy clouds. This aligns with the idea that Krampus brings chaos and turmoil with him. This also adds the supernatural aspect to Krampus. If he can change the temperature, why not change the actual color of the sky itself? And coming at number 1 is Apparitions. Krampus is a demon, so it's no shock that he can haunt people. In Krampus folklore, witnesses may report sightings of shadowy and menacing figures lurking in the dark. These apparitions are believed to be associated with Krampus and his otherworldly entourage. The appearance of the horned creature is a common theme in Krampus lore, and these creatures, whether portrayed as spectral entities or physical manifestations, add a supernatural and demonic element to the folklore, emphasizing Krampus's connection to the underworld. Now, some accounts describe frightening apparitions, including direct sightings of Krampus. Witnesses may report seeing the horned figure with his long tongue and menacing features. Now, in addition to visual apparitions, witnesses may report hearing unearthly sounds such as eerie whispers, growls, or the clattering of chains, as mentioned before. Frightening apparitions may extend beyond visual and auditory experiences to include paranormal activity. be. Objects moving on their own, strange lights, or unusual phenomena may be attributed to Krampus. Some versions of the Krampus legend include the idea that individuals may experience nightmares or episodes of sleep paralysis involving the frightening apparitions. Now, this sleep-related element adds a psychological dimension to the fear associated with Krampus. Well, that's all for our list of the top 10 terrifying signs Krampus is on his way to visit you. Now, are you on the naughty or nice list this year? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.